Welcome to Health Talk. I'm Dr. Manny. You know J.J. Virgin is a best-selling powerhouse health and nutrition expert, but she's here today to talk about a very personal matter, almost losing her son to a devastating car accident. Doctors told her he wouldn't make it throughout the night. Now, nearly 5 years later, she's here to talk about how her miracle mindset helped save her son's life. It's the name of her brand new book, Miracle Mindset, A Mother, Her Son, and Life's Hardest Lessons. Welcome.
Thank you.
What an incredible book, JJ. So take me back to that night. What happened?
So it was dusk. My son went out for a walk to a friend's house, and he was crossing the street. He got hit by a driver. My neighbor saw a woman get out of the car, look back, gasp, get back in her car, and drive off.
So this is a hit and run.
Hit and run, we think maybe going 40 miles an hour. He was airlifted to the local hospital.
How old was he?
He was 16.
16?
16 years old. We get to the local hospital. He has a torn aorta. They tell us it's going to rupture sometime in the next 24 hours. He has to have it repaired, but they can't repair it because he has multiple brain bleeds, and they tell us he'll never survive an airlift. We have to let him go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, so you're facing, they don't want to operate on this.
Well, they can't do the surgery there. They would have to airlift him.
And so how did you respond?
Well, we said, the doctor says he'll never survive another airlift. If he does, he wouldn't survive the surgery. If he did, he'd be so brain damaged, it wouldn't be worth it. And I'm thinking, he's going to die here anyway. Why don't we just take the chance? The doctor said there's like a 0.25% chance he'd make it. Well, that was all we needed.
Right.
Right?
So they went ahead and
we overruled them, and we had him airlifted to the next hospital where an amazing surgeon, there were 5 surgical teams there working on him, and an amazing cardiothoracic surgeon who'd saved his life.
You had, one of the big issues with your son is that he had brain injuries, which we all know how debilitating they could be. One of the things that, because you're a guru in alternative, lifestyle and nutrition and this and that, how did you incorporate alternative treatments to have, to help him bring him back?
I started with asking the right question.
Right.
And for my mind, it was, how do I get my son to be 110%? He had a severe traumatic brain injury. He was in a coma for weeks. And when he came out of it, as he started coming out of it, because you don't come out of it overnight.
Right. You don't wake up and
no one told me this. I thought he'd wake up and say, "Hi, Mom, I love you." And so I searched through all my friends or doctors. I said, what should I be doing? So we did high-dose fish oil. We did, when he came home, we did hyperbaric. We did neurofeedback. Most recently, we've been having stem cells injected right into his spine. Amazing.
I love it.
Amazing.
I'm a big proponent of those things.
Life-changing, game-changer.
Absolutely. All right. So, and he's doing much better today.
I asked him the other day, I said, Grant, let's go back 4.5 years. You have the choice whether to cross the street or not. What would you do? He goes, Mom, I'd cross the street. I'm better because of it. All right.
So he's doing great. And Mama Bear, as I like to call you, and the whole family, I'm sure, brought him back to where he is. So this book, Miracle Mindset, which I love that concept. Talk to me about what that, what is mindset? How do you learn that, or how do you switch it on when you need to?
Yeah, you better have it in you before something like what happened with Grant hits.
Right.
And one thing we know is that we're all going to face challenges. I luckily had a lot of habits in place because I'd been studying personal development since my 20s. One of them was to ask those right questions, like how do you get your son to be 110%? But there's another thing that I do every morning, and this saved me because, as you can imagine, this is the most terrifying experience a parent can ever have. I could have easily been gripped by the fear and incapacitated, and every morning I get up and I pull out a journal and I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and that just shoved the fear out of the way and let me get into action.
If somebody wanted to learn that or wanted to explore, in your book, you go into some of that. Give me some things that I could do to get that mindset available to me when I need it.
And it's so critical. Mindset's a muscle, so it's either growing or it's going, right? And it turns out there are things that you can do to create more resilient, and more resilient people are happier, more successful. Things like actively forgiving someone. We actively forgave that woman who hit my son, all of us, my whole family, doing that gratitude work. Thinking about every day, there's miracles around us every day. Think of the little miracles you see every single day.
All right. Now, in addition to the book, you have a new documentary about this. Tell me about it.
I did. As we were writing the book, I thought, you know, I've got to get this message out because this is an extreme example.
Right.
But it really is, like you just said, how you show up that makes all the difference. It's not about what happened with my son. It's about the lessons that you can put into your life that allow you to handle things, because we all know we're going to have to handle things.
And did your family learn as much as you? I mean, because I'm sure you know, out of this experience, you wrote the book, you kind of developed a cohesive idea of what a mindset is. Did it happen to the entire family?
Absolutely. First of all, a brain injury doesn't just happen to one person.
Right.
It happens to the whole family. But
Right.
my then 15-year-old son, at 19 now, you really can't rattle him. What are you going to throw at him at this point?
That's right. All right. All right. The book, Miracle Mindset. I love it. Where can people get more information?
MiracleMindset.com.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. You're always wonderful and very inspiring stories. Thank you. And if you have any health questions, tweet me at Dr. Manny on Fox. Until next time, I'm Dr. Manny.